It's gig day. Let's just get a wee bit of coffee. Playing in Crofters tonight. This is where my mental health practices really help, because it's like, I don't know, I've been playing in there for, when did they open? 2014? I think. Is that right? Might be. A while. I've been playing in there certainly over 100 times. And still, gig day is a low-key anxiety day that builds up and builds up. And, you know, I've got little kind of practices that I do. But on the day of the gig, it's just get through the day, really. I don't understand why I feel this low-key anxiety every single time. But I acknowledge it. And I think to myself, I try and think positive thoughts, mindset practice or affirmations, you know. I'm a good musician. If I wasn't a good musician, they wouldn't ask me back. And I've been told by plenty of people that they enjoy listening to me play, so I remind myself of that. I remind myself, this is the big one, I love playing. I love playing guitar, I love singing, and I love an audience, even though the idea of an audience gives me the fear. It also gives me a reason to do it. I probably wouldn't play tonight if I wasn't going out to a gig, so I'm grateful that I'm being given this opportunity. You see, try and talk myself around into becoming excited. And this is something I've kind of talked about before a little bit. The anxiety and excitement, they're really just the same feeling, two sides of the same coin, you might say. Possibly. Glastonbury's helped a bit, watching a lot of artists, young artists, new artists, coming out on stage at Glastonbury and admitting to the crowd that they feel really nervous, you know. It's like, oh, okay. And then performing really well and getting the crowd on their side. So that gives me heart. Watching bands that I love, watching the Get Back film, you know, the Beatles one that came out this year, that shows me that making music is something to love. It's fun. I don't know, music for me is life, you know. It's not football. Take that, Ted Lasso. It's music. And music is a path to love. It's as simple as that. And when I first heard the sound of a steel string acoustic guitar, it touched something in me, you know. I knew I wanted to do that. And it was a wee while before I did. You know, I was 21 when I started playing. So kind of late in some ways. But I went deep, and, you know, when I think about the surgeries that I had to go through when I was 19, 20, 18, 19, 20, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I fell off a cliff when I was 17, I almost lost my leg. And this actually came up a bit in yesterday's morning pages, so you can check that out if you want to read about the thoughts I've been having around this idea. But certainly at the time, learning guitar was therapy. And I suppose that's why I went deep. I don't know. Discovered a lot of new bands around that time. Started going to a lot of gigs around that time. 1991, Ice-T, Glasgow Barrowland. On crutches. And that was the beginning of my sort of going to regular gigs in Glasgow. And so music for me has always been a really big part of my life. My mental health, my spiritual life, therapy. So I get to perform in front of people tonight. What a privilege. What an honour. What a buzz. There you go. So it turns out that now this little monologue, this style of sharing my thoughts and feelings helps me with the anxiety. And I hope that it can help you too if you're feeling anxious, a bit overwhelmed, Write it down, talk it out. You don't have to publish, I'm crazy, I do that. That's not for everyone. But find a way to talk it through, even if it's just with yourself, It helps. So if you're on Arran tonight, come and see me, Crofters, 9 p.m.